Hello and welcome to step 2. Okay, what you want to do is take that and fold it into two, then cut two equal parts because we're going to be making a loop out of this. Now once you're done cutting, you're going to squeeze that bottom part a bit together. Okay, so now I have formed one part of the loop. Then watch again, take that and fold it like that. Good. When you're done, the bottom part, fold it together, scrunch it together rather. I think that's appropriate. Yeah. So scrunch the other part together. Now when you're done, you're going to place one on top of the other. Watch closely, take one and put it on top of the other. And when you're done doing that, the next thing is to sew. All right, so I've placed one on top of the other one, and the next thing is sewing. When you're sewing, you don't need to sew so much so that your thread is bulky. Yeah, just sew and ensure that I'm saying so much. I'm so sorry. All right, so when you're done, tie and then take the other part and do the exact same thing. Okay, so take that second part now, put it on top of the one you sewed. Is this sewed? Sorry, the one you made earlier, yeah, and then join them together. Now you can decide to use a hot glue gun for this, but in my experience, tacking or sewing them together is better because that makes it last a long time. Don't forget your stitches should not be bulky. So I have joined each loop together. Now I just want to ensure it's sitting very well. Once I'm sure that I love what I have done, the next thing I'm going to do is take the slimmer Sinamay bias strip. By the way, this is called the Sinamay bias strip. When you take that Sinamay bias strip, cut off the excess on each side, just like I'm doing. Awesome. Now you're going to form like the number 8. So I'm doing this to curve the Sinamay, yeah? Can you see what I'm doing in my hands? Just use it to curve the Sinamay. You form the number 8 by taking it like okay, watch closely. I'm trying to make it soft because I ironed it too hard. So you need to be very careful. Do not iron for the Sinamay to be too hard. So I'm going to make that loop and bend it like so. Alright, so watch closely. Bend the loop, the first one, then bend it again, and now take the end and bend it again. So we have 3 loops. That's what I want to do. You can make yours just 2, but this is how I want to do mine. So once you're done curving, put that in the middle of the first big loop that you made. Okay, so take that and fix in the middle and stitch. Like I said earlier, you can use a hot glue gun for this, but I prefer to use the needle and the thread. That makes it's not so bulky, having gum all over the place. So I would advise in your millinery journey, try to stitch, or rather to sew. It might be a little bit difficult, but trust me, that's the best option. Okay, so I'm going to stitch this now. Okay, so just like the first time, just stitch in the middle. Avoid making your thread too bulky. About 3-4 times is okay, you understand, because you also be sewing this to your Aliceband. All right, so that's it. Now let's cover our Aliceband with the Sinamay. Taking your B7000 or B6000 glue, apply it generously under the Aliceband, not on top of it, under it. Okay, so when you're done applying the B7000 glue under the Aliceband, the next thing is to apply some to the Sinamay, the other Sinamay loop. Just open it, just like I just did now, and then curve. Can you see what I'm doing with my hands? You're just going to curve it so that it curves very well. Now take that B7000 and apply it close to the edges of that Sinamay loop. Let me zoom in for you to see. Alright, can you see that? I'm applying it on the edges of that Sinamay bias strip. So this is what you're going to do from the beginning to the end, or to the point where the Aliceband to like 14.5 inches. That's the length of that slim Aliceband. All right, so once I'm done doing this, I'll wait a little bit for the glue to set, because B7000 glue is stronger when you allow it to set a little. Just leave it to get tacky. Let's leave it to get a little bit dried, and once it's a little bit dried, it's ready to use, and it's going to be very, very strong. All right, so I'm done. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side and just wait. All right, so our glue is set and ready to use. Just take the Aliceband, the glue on the Aliceband is also set, and just do what I'm doing. Push it inside, in between that Sinamay, glue it down, and then pull it to make it become slim. Don't forget, this only happens when you cut the Sinamay on the bias. So once you pull, it becomes slim, not as wide as it was earlier. All right, so as I'm fixing it in, I'm tucking it in rather, I'm going to stretch it. So your stretching, like I stated earlier, makes the Sinamay become slim. So that's what I'm doing to ensure that it's sitting properly on that Aliceband, and it is. After this, it's time for me to attach the loop that I sewed earlier. That I stitched earlier. Please forgive me if sewed is wrong. Okay, so I'm done. I'm just cutting off the edges. Voila! Now the next step is to sew the birdcage veil. So on the table I have my birdcage veil measuring about 20 inches long. You can use a shorter birdcage veil. This is just like a quick easy to do birdcage veil. Yeah, so measuring 20 inches, I'm going to fold it into two now. When I fold it into two, I'll measure from the beginning of the birdcage veil down about 5 inches or 4 inches. All right, so ensure that they are equal first of all before you start taking the measurement. Now take your tape rule and measure from that point 5 inches or 4. Like I said, it's just a really rough sketch. Let's say a sketch. It's not a sketch, but you understand. It's just like it's a quick way to make a birdcage veil. Yeah, so 5 inches, and I'm just going to mark that down with my hands, with my finger, and then make it slanted. Yeah, so I'm going to cut off that part that is outside of the tape. Okay, so cutting it off with my scissors. Please ensure your own scissors is sharp, because mine was not in this video. Okay, so when you're done, take your veil or your birdcage veil and iron it so that it is smooth. Now once you're done ironing, the next step is to gather it together using your needle and thread. Now if you look at the veiling, it has diagonal boxes on it. Look at them, they are tiny on the veil. So I'm going to start by putting my needle in that tiny box. That's the one on the first end of the slanted part that we cut. I hope you understand this thing I just said now. So push your needle in, and then I'm going to count 2 boxes away, which is, so we're going slanted, not straight. So that is 1 and 2. I'll skip those 2 boxes and go to the 4th box. All right, watch closely. Skip 1 and 2 and go to the 4th box using your needle and thread. So this is not how I normally would make a birdcage veil, but for this one, because I will be hiding it underneath a loop, I'm going to do it this way. So skip 2 boxes again and go to the 4th one. So I'm going to continue doing this till I get to the top. All right, again, skip 2 boxes and go to the 4th one. Okay, now once you're done doing this part, when you get to the top of the birdcage veil, you're going to start skipping 1 box. Okay, so watch closely. All right, so now I have gotten to the top. I'm going to start skipping just 1 box. You can continue skipping 2 boxes. The truth is, honestly, it makes no difference. It's still different. It's still going to come out looking fine. All right, so continue till you get to the end of the birdcage veil. Okay, so once you're done stitching, if you get to that end that has a slanted part, just continue with what I did in the beginning. Start skipping 2 boxes till you get to the end of that slope. Yeah, now once you're done, just pull it together and tie. Just watch closely, you can see what I'm doing. Pull it together and then tie. Now you have your birdcage veil. Do not cut off the thread. Okay, next thing you want to do is take your Aliceband and fix your birdcage veil where you want it to be. I like my headpieces to be on the left hand side, so I'm going to be fixing my birdcage veil on that spot I'm holding with my fingers. Don't forget that I did not cut off the thread from the birdcage veil. Yeah, so I'm going to hold it down exactly like so and then stitch it by ensuring that my needle passes through the Sinamay that I used to cover the Aliceband. So just stitch it about 2, 3, 4 times and then you are good to go before you attach the Sinamay loop on it. Now my stitching is going to be centered, but it's not going to be bulky. You just have to stitch strategically to ensure the veil is sitting properly. Once you've gotten that part, take the Sinamay loop that we made the first time and then attach it there and also sew that down. Now you're sewing also, don't just sew it all over the place, okay? It needs to be centered, all right? So because you don't want thread showing everywhere. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, subscribe, share this video. Yes, just do that for me, please. Thank you so much. All right, let the stitching begin. Okay, so once you're done stitching, cut off the thread and then tie. Ensure that you tie about 2-3 times before you continue. Our fascinator is almost ready, but I need to add some things to make it look more beautiful. I have this Sinamay bias and I'll be making an 8 out of it. So you curve and then sew it or stitch it before using the hot glue gum to attach it to the middle. Okay, let's do that. Now once you're done stitching it, that's what it's going to look like. You're going to attach it to the middle using the hot glue gun. Now take your hot glue gun and apply just a little. You don't want to apply too much because that thing is really hot. Now you can place it however you want to place it, but this is how I want to place mine. Once you're done, just hold it down. Be careful, let it not seep through the Sinamay and then burn your fingers. Okay, so hold it down till it's dried. Okay, so now let's spice it up with some Biot feathers. Now taking your hot glue gun, those are my Biot feathers on the table. Taking your hot glue gun, apply a little bit of of hot glue to the ends of the Biot feathers and just start placing it in the places you want, or in the spots you want, or on the spots that you want, just like so. Now you need to be careful. Don't forget, glue gun is very, very hot and it can peel your skin. Okay, so you need to be very careful with this. So I applied just once and the glue I applied is a lot. That's the reason why I'm just putting the feathers there. So the next step, I can decide I want to put some glue in the middle. Just press it on there and then continue adding the Biot feathers. So for, like I said, you need to be careful with hot glue. You don't want it to pour out, so you need to be careful. Once you place the glue on, you need to quickly attach the Biot feathers to it. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. Can you see the middle? Now I'm going to attach some Sinamay coils that I made earlier to the middle. So you can use your finger or something circular to coil this. As long as you have stretched that Sinamay, it will respond. Cut off the excess on both sides and then apply your hot glue gun, because it will be sitting in the middle right there. Okay, so apply your hot glue gun to it and then fix it in the middle. That's all. Watch closely, please. I hope you've enjoyed the video so far. If you have any questions about this design, don't forget to drop it in the comment section. All right, so I'm holding that down so that it's, sits very, very well. I love this fascinator. It's so easy to make, super easy. Now the next step is to take your Biot feathers, pass it through the hole, and then tie it. I love when Biot feathers are like knotted like that, like they are so pretty. So it's really easy. Just take your Biot feathers, pass it through a hole, and then knot it just like I have done. So I'm going to add this to different parts of the veil. This part is optional. It's not compulsory for you to knot Biot feathers on your own. You can also add rhinestones, a tiny one, if you like sparkles, and glitter. Okay, so that's all for this headpiece. I hope you enjoyed watching this video because I enjoyed creating it for you. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this video, and also please like this video. Thank you guys so much. Follow me on all my social media platforms at Zofa Headwear on Instagram, at Zofa Headwear School on Facebook. Now the next part is to seal the bottom of that Sinamay. Just fold it in, that's all you'll be doing. Do that and do the same thing to the other side. Thank you again for watching my channel. Thank you for always coming back, and if you're a new subscriber, please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and like and share this video. My name is Olufemi Adu. I'm at Zofa Headwear on Instagram, Zofa Headwear School on Facebook. Till I see you again, thank you and goodbye.